Andrew Berry just gave some major updates on the Browns' quarterback situation. What's the plan for 2026? He was peppered with questions about this and what they're going to do at QB. We're going to look at what he had to say, and also, where is the team trending with Shedeur Sanders? What will his role be in 2026? Will he be the Browns' starting quarterback? We're going to look at what Andrew Berry had to say about this. We're going to hear from what Shedeur Sanders had to say about this, all on today's show, so don't miss out. But before I show you what the Browns organization has to say about it, I want to hear from you guys, what you have to say. Will Shedeur Sanders be the starting quarterback next year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Give me a letter in the comments section. Call it now. Will Shedeur be QB1 in 2026? You let me know. Without further ado, let's hear from Andrew Berry and his remarks on the situation. We're going to do our work on the quarterback market. It's too important of a position, and it's something that has to be solidified. I can't sit here and tell you today whether the solution for our starter in 2026 is internal or external. But it's something that we're going to work through over the next several weeks. And quite honestly, the new head coach will also have a lot of input into that as well. So here's the keys there. One, he couldn't say if the quarterback's going to be internal or external. That means they are really going to deep dive into this, explore all options for quarterback, because Barry said it's the most important position in sports. And new head coach input is another key here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have a head coach right now, but whoever we hire, well, he'll get to choose if he wants to go get a new quarterback, if he likes Shedeur. Remember, the Ravens wanted to draft Shedeur, so maybe if you did get Monken or Harbaugh, he would be down to work with number 12. But those are keys for Cleveland going forward. Andrew Berry, asked specifically about Shedeur Sanders, said this: I think we saw a lot of progress with Shedeur this year. I think that's both mentally, physically, playing the position. He's still very much a work in progress, says Andrew Berry, like many rookie quarterbacks are. But I think we saw some really good things in terms of his playmaking, his accuracy, his ability to extend with his feet. And this is exactly what I've been saying. Right? I did see flashes from Shedeur. You did see a lot of great things. Some deep shots we hadn't seen all year. Some plays with his legs. Some extending of plays. But it wasn't perfect. No, not by any means, right? There were 10 interceptions on the year. Now, not every interception is created equal. You had some bounce off of Judy. You have some bounce off of Judkins' shoulder. Come on. But that's why I think it was ups and downs with Sanders, okay? And you just have to factor in the Cleveland Browns situation as a whole. So I think Barry notices what I noticed, which is we did see a lot of good things. But there were also some rookie mistakes. There were some that were on Shedeur, right? Some questionable plays where he's just throwing it up across his body. And you're like, all right, we didn't need that. So, yeah, ups and downs in a bad situation. I think he's earned his way to stay on this roster, though, and he's better than Dillon Gabriel. I stand by that. And who are your other options? This is the real question. So everybody can give their opinion. You could get down there, and you could be one of the people that's saying, because people are trying to tell me, they're like, dude, give it up. They're like, Shedeur sucks. That's what they're saying to me. Who's the other option? Give me your names. The free agent market of quarterbacks, not good. The draft quarterbacks, you don't have a top 3 pick. All right? I mean, look at this. Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Joe Flacco, you want to bring him back? Malik Willis. Now, he's a name I actually would be interested in, though. All right? I would be interested in Malik Willis. I'll tell you that much. But look at some of these names. Like, these are the best free agent options. Russ has already failed trying to be a starter again. Mariota's not a starter. Not anymore. Neither's Flacco. Malik Willis is the one name I'd consider. Look at some of his numbers, okay? 85% completion percentage? Dang. They won some big games for Green Bay when Love got hurt. The offense actually looked better with Malik Willis at times. And we know that firsthand because you might think, well, that's the Packers system. Love was struggling. We beat the Packers, okay? They only put up 10 points against us. Malik Willis has been balling. So he's the only name I would say go out and get. Dan Orlovsky says he's going to get 40 to 50 million. People got on him. They're like, what the hell are you talking about, Dan? 40 million a year? I don't think he meant a year. That'd be crazy. Maybe 20 million a year, right? But he's the one name you could look out for. Trey Lance, another option, a younger guy. Just not really much success at all, though, with Dallas, with the Niners. Like, seriously, you're telling me We have Shedeur Sanders on a rookie deal who showed a lot of positives. If we could get a better offensive line and some weapons, that's a better scenario than some random veteran external quarterback. Seriously. Who are your other options? Carson Wentz? There's nobody. Trade options. Tua and Kyler Murray are the quarterbacks in trade rumors right now. Both of them unproductive lately. Both of them massive contracts that we do not need to take on. We have Deshaun Watson on the roster next year. We still got to pay. I'm not giving up any capital to get one of those two. Makes no sense to me. And let me tell you this, Browns fans. You will get pissed off with any of those options very quickly. You're going to have a short fuse and a short temper, just like we did with every quarterback this year. You're going to see one interception from Trey Lance, from Russell Wilson, from Mariota, and you're going to say, get him the hell out of here. That's what happened to Flacco. So you would get pissed off with any of those mediocre options. The Browns, the thing with them is they're just doing this in a bad market. Of course, they don't have their stuff figured out in a bad market. And the coaching pool was a bad market as well until John Harbaugh got fired. He became an option. But now you're trying to figure this thing out, and there's not many options to do so. So look at the Browns quarterback room right now. I think this is what you have next year. I don't know, unless Malik Willis is someone who you can get, then I think you're rolling with this. And, it might not be enthralling because we have had to suffer the past few years of just a weird quarterback depth chart cycle rotation of different starters. You went, Deshaun Watson to P.J. Walker to Jameis Winston. This year you went from Flacco to Dillon to finally Shedeur. And Watson, I think, is going to be on this mix as well next season. Don't forget about him. And so it's not the prettiest thing, but because of the lack of options out there, because we did see some good from Shedeur, I think you need linemen, build, see if it looks better, and then get your guy when there's more people available. You tell me in the comment section, though, who should be the Browns' next quarterback. Comment your name down below. Curious what everybody thinks. Get in the comment section and let me know. We're going to talk about what Shedeur had to say about this, though, on the back half of today's show. So don't go anywhere if you want to hear what Sanders has to say, what he thinks about this whole situation, and if he did enough to be quarterback one. But first, I want to tell you guys about this awesome deal at Chat Sports. Myles Garrett made history. We all got to watch it, and there's a shirt to remember it by with the date on it. It looks super sick. It's him celebrating. He just looks so relieved. You want to rock this from this historic Browns season? It's only $34.99 at chatsports.com/MGRecord. That is chatsports.com/MGRecord. Get yourself this Myles Garrett T-shirt. He's the record-breaking man. I'm going to put this link in the comment section. I'm going to put it in the description so that you can find it easily, but it's easy to remember. It's Myles Garrett's initials, chatsports.com/MGRecord. Record-breaking, man. I'd want to rock this for sure because it's only once in a lifetime. It's historic. All right, here's what Shedeur had to say on this whole thing. I think I did what I was able to do, and I definitely grew from a lot of things, and I got experience now. So I'm always the same. Confidence-wise, I'm there. But, that's not in my hands. It's not my decision. I can't speak on what other people feel. I think overall, as a quarterback, I showed different pieces in different games to all add up to one complete quarterback. And that's what I had to get to in those situations. Red zone situations, field goal situations, third down situations, where you at on the field situations. So there was a lot of situations, and that was good. I think it's one more part of this too, JD, if you look there. He said one more thing on this. But he made some fair points in his press conference, right? I mean, he was put in a lot of different situations. Bad offensive line, no weapons. The coach didn't want him to start. They didn't pick him. And there was a lack of reps, a severe lack of reps for Shedeur, okay? And he talked about that a little bit more. I'm going to show you that here now, saying, I feel like this was a good learning year for me. And I'm excited for it because, like I said, moving forward, I'll be prepared. I'll have actual, realistic reps versus players and other players on other teams and everything. So I'm excited for this offseason. knowing what I'm knowing and understanding what to expect and what I'm going to get. That's your key right there. Now I'll have actual realistic reps. We know he feels that way. After the Raiders win, he literally said, imagine if I had a full offseason, what that would look like. What would it look like? We're going to find out today. We're going to find out this offseason. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. But he does have some fair points. Makes you wonder, would it look better? Of course it would look better. Is he the guy? If every quarterback plays bad, it's a system problem. All right? Like, seriously, who's looked good in Stefanski's system the past 2 years in Cleveland? And did the Watson deal set us back? Yeah. But why? What is the fall from grace from Deshaun Watson? How do you become so good to so bad? The system is wrong. O-line is the Browns' biggest need. It is their biggest focus this offseason. Fix that thing. Revamp it. Draft linemen. Sign linemen. You might have 5 completely different O-linemen starting next year. It's the other thing about Shedeur's back half of the season, right? I mean, he was down to this third-string center, second-string guard, second-string tackle. What the heck do you want him to do? Load up on the linemen. That's your biggest focus. And Andrew Berry acknowledges that as well. But he also said his focus, solidifying the quarterback position. That's the biggest thing that can lead to sustainable success. That's priority number 1. How we accomplish that with the combination of internal options, external veteran options, the draft, that remains to be seen. But priority number 1 is finding a leader for the organization. That's what our focus is in on the short term. As you can see there from Andrew Berry. So, he did acknowledge that he needs to revamp his offensive line in a different part of this press conference, but he said, quarterback's number 1 priority, finding a new one. We're being lied to again. They don't have a plan. He doesn't know what they're going to do. It's going to depend on the new head coach. And like I showed you, there's no head coach there's no quarterback options out there. The best free agent's Russell Wilson. Was washed. You're not drafting Mendoza or Moore. And quite frankly, those guys aren't as good of prospects as even Caleb Williams was coming out. Even Cam Ward was coming out. And those two had rocky first years. They don't have a plan. This is all going to depend on a new head coach, training camp reps. So Shedeur will be in this quarterback battle. I think Watson will be in this quarterback battle. Gabriel will be in it, but he shouldn't. But this is what Cleveland is going to do going forward for right now. Unless you get Malik Willis, who also is a backup this year, but he's the best available option. That's why my head coach needs to be a guy that can develop a quarterback. It's what we need. It's what we lacked with Kevin Stefanski. Whoever we hire, they need to be a QB whisperer so that we can't get the most out of Shedeur, so that we can't get our guy and stick with one guy going forward. Not this cycling in, cycling out throughout the season of losing. Get me someone that knows how to develop a QB. So, this is fun. I won't even ask you for specifics. Just, will the Browns make the right decision? Do you have any faith in them to do it right? Comment down below. Please, make the right hire. Start the right QB. Right now, I think it is Shedeur. But I'll have you updated if they go out, sign, or draft anybody else. That's why you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the show. Do appreciate you all, and I will see you shortly here on the Browns Report.